Ladies and gents, I got a package in the mail today of probably one of the most controversial fragrances of 2025. The year just started, and there's a lot of talks in the fragrance world about the fragrance I'm about to share with you today. Of course, we're going to talk about the newest Dior Homme Parfum 2025. Stick around. This is a doozy. Welcome back to another video. If you do love to smell great and make a lasting impression, you are at the right place. That's what we do here. We like to put you into great smelling fragrances to really up your game and your style. Today we're going to talk about one of the fragrances that I truly love over the last 10 years. Going back 10 years ago, of course, the brand new Dior Homme Parfum was released back then, 10 years ago, and it was one of the most talked about fragrances that year. In fact, 2014 was a great year for fragrance releases. If you guys missed my first impressions video on this fragrance, I'm going to pop it up here, which I actually did 10 years ago, believe it or not. And then pass forward to 2020, Dior Homme Parfum released the 2020 release of this fragrance, which was a more toned down version of the original 2014, taking away some of the darker leather notes, oud facets, making this a little bit more universally appealing. Now, what are we expecting to smell here in 2024? Yet to be seen. I'm going to crack this open. Let me digress and get you guys my thoughts and impressions on this new release and how it compares to the predecessor. So let's hop right into it. So we're going to talk about the pricing, the presentation, and we're going to go through everything here about this fragrance, starting with the presentation, of course. This is actually readily available right now. You can find this available at Dior, the Dior website, where I got my fragrance, but you can also pick this up at Dillard's. You can pick it up at, I believe Sephora has it, Ulta has it, Macy's has it. So all the points of sale that you find, authorized Dior points of sale, you'll be able to find this particular fragrance. And it comes in two sizes. You have the 1.550 ml that retails for $160, or the biggest size that they have, which is a 75 ml or 2.5 ounces, which retails for $180 plus tax. I ended up paying almost $200 for the 75 ml. So not cheap. Hopefully the smell will warrant the value here. Now the presentation is pretty cool. Love, it's almost like a pinstripe texture box that you have here. You have the little Dior B, it says Parfum, Dior Homme with this silver emblem here at the top. You also have the sticker, CD for Christian Dior, of course, all the information here, and at the bottom, and batch code, which of course should match the glass etching at your glass bottle. So let's crack this open. I am dying to smell this one, guys. I heard a lot of controversial, a lot of people talking about how this is, but I didn't want to go through deep into what people were saying because I wanted to get my own conclusions of this fragrance. So as you open the box, the B is also here on the actual cardboard part of the box, and the bottle is beautiful looking. Have seen how this bottle look, on socials, that it's beautiful gradient from darker to light. You can't see the juice, although the juice itself is not as dark as the previous iterations of this fragrance. The cap, it's not magnetic, but you can click it into place and hold it from the cap. It's not going to fall. You do have the B here on the actual atomizer, and you do have this new silver emblem here on the cap itself. Also CD for Christian Dior, and again, the batch code does match the actual bottle. This one here is 4H02. It's etched right on the glass. Now we're going to take this for a test drive, so I'm going to get myself a tester strip. I'm also going to spray my hand to see what I get from this fragrance. So sprayers are beast as always with Dior, one of the best in the game. And I have to be 100% transparent and honest with you, this smell is really good. There's no two ways about it. If anybody out there tells you otherwise, that this does not smell good, they are lying. Plain and simple. This smells good. If you smell this in a store, if a sales associate hands you a tester strip with this fragrance, you're going to say, wow, this smells good. You know what? Let me get my hand here too. And I'm going to tell you, the opening here is beautiful. You do get the iris. You do have the ambery, semi-sweet kind of a vibe. You do have some smoky and earthy qualities to the fragrance. I believe, of course, when they're talking about the note breakdown here, they're only giving you a couple of notes. They're talking about, this is what companies are doing these days, I guess, to simplify things. And they're saying iris, amber, patchouli, vetiver, and I believe cedar. There's definitely a lot more going on in this fragrance. I do get a vetiver note. There is some kind of an earthy and spicy, smoky kind of a facet here. It's not overly spicy or dark at all. And again, in comparison to the other ones, which we're going to get in a second, this is going to be the lightest and most, quote unquote, universally appealing from all Dior Homme Parfums thus far. We'll leave it at that for now, but the smell is good. So that is a relief. It does smell good, and it does have the iris note, I guarantee you. So first and foremost, before I continue to talk about this particular fragrance, the new one, the 2024, and how it develops on my skin, let me go back a little bit and talk about the original 2014 release of this fragrance, which was groundbreaking and amazing because they took a great scent profile and DNA of Dior Homme Intense, which was this beautiful lipsticky makeup iris note that's very ambery and semi-sweet, some cocoa powdery patchouli in there, that natural sexual vibe that everybody talked about back in the day when first the original Dior Homme came out in 2005. It started this whole new genre or classification of fragrances, this iris metrosexual kind of vibe, which in time, I remember when people smelled the 2005 Dior Homme, they did not like it, especially guys thought it was very feminine. What are they doing? This is too sweet. You know, as the years progressed, people fell in love with Dior Homme and it is now considered a masterpiece in the world of fragrances. So, and I believe 𝗕𝗗𝗏𝗄𝗏 was the nose of that particular creation. And then of course, François Demachy later years became the in-house perfumer, making everything we knew up until this release. But anyway, going back to this one here, which is a François Demachy release from 2014, amazing. It took the Dior Homme Intense profile with the cocoa, powder patchouli, sweet ambery, gorgeous iris note, and added to this notes of dark leather and oud, making this even darker, well, the darkest Dior Homme at that point, and even something that not a lot of people liked. I remember a lot of people hating on this fragrance, saying it was too dark, it was too daring, you know, this is too niche. Those are the kind of comments that a lot of people gave. But the other flip side of that coin is people like myself truly appreciated this fragrance because this was off the beaten path. This was not more of the same. This was exactly that, niche quality, something that would really elevate your style to the next level because of that dark leather and that oud facet, along with everything else that we came to love and appreciate from Dior Homme. Now, fast forward to 2020, of course, we all remember that huge debacle of 2020 Dior Homme that they had to, you know, a few months later, keep Dior Homme as a Dior Homme original, and then the Dior Homme 2020 became its own thing, just like what I'm expecting they'll do with this 2025 release, which I'm going to talk to you guys about in just a second. But let me digress a little bit and talk about Dior Homme Parfum 2020, which was also released at the same year as this 2020 Dior Homme that I just talked about, which they kept as Dior Homme and Dior Homme Original, which retained the beautiful lipsticky iris note that you did not get with the Dior Homme 2020. Now, Dior Homme Parfum 2020, to me, as I said way back when I reviewed this fragrance, this particular fragrance is very similar to Dior Homme Intense reformulation because it has a very nice, long-lasting, and powerful iris, cocoa butter, patchouli kind of a vibe, exactly as you had with Dior Homme Intense. Now, the Dior Homme Intense 2020, not the Parfum, is a lot lighter, much like Dior Homme. It's almost like they took a couple steps back, making everything a little bit more toned down and more mass appealing. So this is the more mass appealing version of the original 2014 in 2020. Still very good, still great in performance, still retaining that gorgeous iris. Now, going back to the 2025 release, the one we're talking about today, not the case at all. This one here will have hints of the Dior Homme Parfum we come to love and appreciate, but it'll go into a different direction. It's already changed on the tester strip. It's already changing on my skin. Now, bear with me here. It does not smell bad whatsoever. It smells actually really freaking good. However, it's not Dior Homme Parfum that we come to love and become accustomed to. It changes completely in profile. The iris note that opens up the fragrance goes away way into the background, almost negligible at this point. You can't really get it anymore. It's a little bit more present on the tester strip, but not at all on my hand. It's completely gone at this time. I've been talking for over 10 minutes now. It's gone. The iris note, it's completely subdued and gone. And now the fragrance starts to shape up into different things that we come to know over the last few years. Armani Code Eau de Parfum, Armani Code Parfum, Zara Wanted Intense. There's another one that comes to mind, Prada L'Homme. You do have that kind of a soapy, creamy kind of a facet that you get with the Prada L'Homme, definitely present here. It becomes a very pleasant fragrance, don't get me wrong, but it does not have the same scent profile that we love from Dior Homme Parfum. That is a shame. It becomes almost like a simpler kind of a fragrance. Again, I think what they were going for, Dior, you know, and again, don't blame Francis Kurkdjian for this creation because he's just following direction. At this point, he's the in-house perfumer. He has to follow the briefing and the desire of the brand. So I guess what they were going for is something capturing the new generation. You know, it's been 10 years since the original, so now, you know, Gen Z, whatever, let's go with something sweeter, more universally appealing, easier to wear, anybody and everybody can wear. This is definitely androgynous. I can see a guy or a lady wearing it. It's not like the old Dior's, even though they were sweeter, and again, a lady could wear them. This one here, definitely in the cusp. There's a lot of sweetness going on here. There's definitely a ton of ambers. I'd go as far as saying that there's ambrox in here, even though it's not listed as a note. That vetiver, smoky, earthy note that I talked about with the iris in the beginning are completely gone now. It's mostly an ambery, sweet, semi-spicy, very sweet, almost vanillic kind of a situation going on now with the core they have here. The patchouli is here, but it's a sweeter patchouli. And again, I don't think performance will be in any way, shape, or form any closer to the 2020 release or nor near the 2014 release, which was a beast. This, I don't think it's going to be a beast mode. I think it's going to perform on average 8 to 10 hours. If you spray your clothes, you'll get 8 plus, 9, 10 hours. But if you're only going on skin, I'm thinking it's going to be 8 hours tops, and perhaps the projection will be nice, you know, 2 hours or so. I think the sillage is going to be very good here, but again, I have to really give full wearings to give you my full and final thoughts on this. But overall, it does smell good. It does not retain the scent profile that we are accustomed to with the original Dior Homme Parfum or the 2020 Dior Parfum. It goes into a different direction. It is likable, it is nice, it is universally appealing, but it goes into a sweeter kind of a scent profile that is not Dior Homme Parfum. In fact, I think Dior should have released this as a standalone release, or, now I'm going to talk about what I said before, the same thing happened in 2020 with Dior Homme. I would keep this as Dior Homme Parfum 2025, but also keep it as Dior Homme. If they're not going to keep this one, the 2020 release, because I think this one is supposed to substitute this one. This was supposed to go away. This is supposed to be the main Dior Parfum. I would keep or make another Dior Homme Parfum original that would keep the scent profile, the darker. You can even see it in the juice. This is a lot darker than this. People are going to miss this. If you're a diehard fan of this one like myself, you know, this is not going to cut it. This is for different demographics. This is for something. This is something for someone coming into Dior now and discovering the brand or the Dior Homme line. They will appreciate this, but if you already know or knew the Dior Homme Parfums of the past, this is not going to cut it. And of course, I'm going to have this fragrance linked below. If you guys are so inclined to get yourselves a bottle, go right ahead. Like I said, it's close to $200 for the big one and $160 plus tax for the 1.7 50 ml. I would definitely try this before you buy it, and you could do so right now at perfume.com. It's in stock. You guys can use my code MAX12. And of course, I'm going to have everything linked below to make your life easier. As always, guys, thank you so much for your support. If you do appreciate the channel, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more, and hit the notification bell so you get these videos straight into your feed. And as always, let me go for my full wearing today. I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care. It smells really good, guys. I'm telling you, you'll like the way it smells, but it's a different scent. Catch you next time. Bye-bye.